Welcome, sisters. We're back on our program On Target. The number to call is 442-0175. You brothers and sisters in the diaspora, you know you're always welcome. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socio-economic issues trending. And most important, you can introduce your own topic. You can interrupt us at any moment and change the topic. We encourage you to punch, no preamble, don't waste time. Punch and straight to the point. We always tell our individuals, make your substantive point first. If you got time, you go take on people afterwards. And we are on Real FM 91.9, 91.5. We are 94.9 in Brooklyn, New York. And we expect you to subscribe. It's very important. Give us a blind. Subscribe to Real FM, like the program, and share the program. Always share our program when you're started. And so we want somebody to open back today. One person meet me and they say, you must always try to cause joy, not pain. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
I am calling on the youths of Grenada to stop disrespecting the police, stop disrupting the police whenever they try to do their job, and big large crowd of people just surrounding the police. They can making the job difficult to do. I am asking the parents, mothers and fathers and grandparents, please speak to these youths and them. Please, Grenada go end up in a lot of trouble. Please speak to these youths and them. Grenada going out of control now with these youths. They're not giving the police chance to do their work. All on social media, as you've seen, they're telling the police all kind of hurtful words. Where are we going to? Thank you, this is my contribution.
Yes, and it's a nice way to start. I'm an individual who always compliment the police in Grenada. They have been doing a good job. I don't say that lightly. In the Caribbean, the police in Grenada is well respected. Irrespective of all the tumultuous conflicts that Grenada have had, you have not had much cry on the police. In the 70s, there is a police brutality. The police said not them was the secret police. In the military, in Maurice Bishop days, well, they used to arrest you and lock you up. But the police in Grenada have tried. And I've always speak out that we must be more respectful to the police. And I agree with your caller. We have some young drivers now. Some of them women now, they're costing more than man. Long ago, we used to have some nice, dainty Syrian women. Those women are like viper. Water, they're cussing. And the young men are cussing and disrespecting the police without justification. And I still appeal to the police to evoke all your level of professionalism and the hierarchy of the police. Continue to counsel the police. And every opportunity you get, let senior cop be with the junior cops. If I have to give any police trouble, I want senior police to give trouble, not junior police. Because the junior police may have less patience. And I have spoken relentlessly on this subject matter. And I have accused the Prime Minister of Grenada for inciting violence. And I want to register the strongest objection to the Attorney General. I believe she was one of the most disrespectful person to the police. She behaved like pasa, jumping up and saying, shoot Babylon Bobo. Now, when our leaders speak, they have to understand that the young people follow them. The militants follow them. I wouldn't get myself singing song, shoot Babylon Bobo, and jumping up in the air. No. There's some people go say, well, on target don't have much sense, but I will follow it. They go follow you. So you're not supposed to do that. A principal of a school, a teacher, a senior police officer, senior public officer, senior nurse, you like examples in the community. Somebody good businessmen, not all businessmen good, you know, but some of them is bandit too. But somebody ordinary, conventional businessman, we don't expect you to be openly disrespecting the police. And Kevin Andrew, you too have been inciting violence. You go on social media beating your chest and say you curse police. That is unacceptable. I have asked you to apologize. Everybody could go wrong, and you're young. You're young and your head hot and you're irresponsible. So we understand that. But you should be big enough to take advice and apologize. When you all do these things, the youths following you all. When Deacon went and make social media movie with weed, a illegal substance. 2 young people, I saw them on Facebook. I engaged them because I know them. They're rolling out weed on Facebook. I spoke to them, they tell me weed legalized. I said, no. Anytime weed legalized, you go see me put up a sign on my rum shop. Weed sold here. I say, if you don't see that, weed don't legalize. And I got them to pull down from Facebook their posts. You know, so I have a little influence, not much, but among 1 or 2 people. But Deacon have a lot of influence. He has not pulled down the post. He has not apologized. So yes, the caller, I agree with you. I watch every day. I see the confrontation people make with the police. A few months ago, I intervened because one policeman was surrounded by maybe 10, 12 boys, and they were heckling him. And I stopped and intervened. I said, let the policeman do his job alone. What's wrong with all you? They've only said. But I didn't want the police to arrest them, try to arrest them, about 10 or 12 of them, and he himself. I said, Chief, don't bother with them. Anything you go for reinforcement. So the public must be more supportive of the police. The radio personalities on the radio, don't encourage irresponsible behavior. Over 9-10 years now I've been on that subject matter. I spoke about Rwanda. It's a radio station. The people always hate one another. Tutsis and Hutsis. Black people, you know. But they want some reason. Some of them mark their face to identify who is who, to learn to hate. And nearly 100,000 people die within less than 100 days. And some people believe that a radio station help to act as a catalyst to encourage these people to kill one another. Some of them married to one another, they still kill one another. Some of them go in the same church, they kill one another. Oh, nearly 100,000 people in Rwanda died. So I agree with this scholar, and I take strong objection to radio personalities, politicians, high-tighty people, people who have a briefcase or certificate. I take strong objection to some of the level of unjustifiable disrespect I see going on in Grenada now. And I do hope the next cabinet meeting, I think they're on holiday now, but when they come back, they must come back. Christmas coming, they might want to make a Christmas party. The next cabinet meeting, I want to suggest that the Minister of Security discuss the issue. You have heard on target said, you inciting violence in the country. I've said it repeatedly, all on social media. And I've challenged the Minister of Labor and Legal Affairs. And the fact that you are a woman, you see, I'm an old traditional kind of man. This liberal woman, and I've been to Pasa Pasa. And I know what is passa. So I take strong objection to passa behavior. And you must discuss the action of Tevin and Joe and the sistering from God. 4 of you all have been very bad examples to young people. And I call it on some parents. Parents, your son will go in jail. The court might spare your daughter, but they will send your son in jail. And no matter how much money you pay those lawyers taking your money, they winking eye at the judge, and they want the judge send your son in jail. So see what you could do. Bang your belly. Talk to these boys that playing Don. They know Don. They're just disrespectful. And they feel they could go and harass the police. And the schoolhouse. Teachers. Ultimately, you responsible. I know you disagree with me. You say it's the parents. I ask who teach the parents. They say teachers. You say it's the politician, Deacon and them. I say who teach Deacon and them? They say teachers. They say it's the lawyers. I say who teach these dumb lawyers and them? They say teachers. So teachers are responsible. Try to evoke some more discipline in our boys and our girls. Them girls causing trouble too, you know. The boys dropping the pants, they have underpants. The girls dropping the panty, and I don't know what they have to do. I don't mind, you know. It's not to say I against seeing them when they forget their clothes home. But I just saying, make sure it's that all they want. I watch them in Carnival. They full of oil. And I know some cocoa pot full up with oil. So we have to appeal. We have to be a better people. Since Tilita gets social media, she does send me things every morning. This morning she tell me I must pray and try to be considerate to one and all, and try to bring joy, not pain, to all who I meet. You see, when you hear old people get into the technology, that's why I believe we must take time off and help the elderly. I see Gabe start to text. That is good. Till I time in front of him. Every morning, text on me, praise. She say, you must be considerate to one another. You must bring joy, not pain. So when you hear speak to Deacon, my good cousin Blash, don't get vexed. I'm trying to help Deacon because he's going on the wrong trajectory. So I want to bring joy to him, not pain. So you and cousin Danley help me to advise him that the trajectory going on is wrong. You see what happened to us with the United States of America. It is not a question of who wrong and who right. It's a question of what is best for Grenada. What is best for Grenada? Our Grenadian politician, particularly foreign affairs and the prime minister, you set the pace. So if you pull your sword and you jump to defend Cuba, when United States fire missile, we'll expect you okay. But the Caribbean, CARICOM, should appear to be a peaceful broker. CARICOM has not been doing that. And when you have a young upstart prime minister like Deacon, when Caribbean leaders meet him, they should nudge him what road we walk in. CARICOM have to be agents of peace. You cannot just say the Caribbean must be a peaceful zone, but you pull your sword, you're cursing Israel, you're supporting Iran, you jump on Cuba back, you calling the United States president, all kind of thing. You can't do that. Your voice had to be strong. That Guyana and Venezuela must have a peaceful, amicable settlement or go to court No violence. CARICOM, you did not do that. You stay silent. Venezuela had to flex the muscle, and Guyana can beat Venezuela. But Venezuela cannot conquer Guyana. And obviously Guyana is correct to run to the British and to the Americans. And the Americans don't thirsty for Venezuela. So you see what happened? They send their troops in the Caribbean. But if Caribbean leaders was forceful from day one in telling Maduro there must be no act of violence against Guyana, it must be settled in the international court. You was not forceful. Yes, Venezuela have been helping us with oil. But you needed to speak with one voice. Guyana have the greatest potential in the Caribbean. Forbes Bonham tell you that. We go be the breadbasket in the Caribbean. Jog, they offer you land. All Caribbean leaders should go and buy land in Guyana. Sometimes you buy a piece of land with your oil. And you expect Guyana to provide food. Guyana is 83,000 square miles and they don't have people. If Mount St. Catherine volcano and Kikam Genie erupt one time, the safest place in Grenada is St. David's and a little place in St. George's. So they could take all of us and drop us in Guyana and G for Guyana and G for Grenada. So we fit in nicely. So we, our leaders, have to think. Our leaders are not thinking. Donald Trump decided he's sending back illegal immigrants. Well, Donald Trump more dramatic. But Joe Biden, not Joe Biden, Obama sent back more illegal immigrants than Joe Biden. And Joe Biden sent back more illegal immigrants than Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is likely to be more effective because he's more dramatic. Mexico have over 10,000 people on the border now, preventing people from coming in America because Donald say putting tariff on you. Now I'm not joking. So the CARICOM leaders, and that's why I'm disappointed in Mia Mockley. She sold and she back inside. Now she talking about peace. Should negotiate with the United States of America that we are willing to accept our illegal immigrants. And once they're from the Caribbean, we will accept them. It doesn't matter if a Grenadian going Barbados, we're going to get them out. And use that means, that opportunity to increase your communicative relationship with the United States of America. If the United States of America accuse you of collaborating and they are being complicit with Cuba over what they call slave labor, then renegotiate the terms. You could still get the people from Cuba, and then you could give Cuba $3 million on the side for donation and something. Because Cuba wants foreign exchange. But you don't have to beat your chest. You can beat your chest for Uncle Sam. You cannot do that. Maurice Bishop did that in Grenada. He said if you touch Nicaragua and you touch Cuba, you touch Grenada. AK speaking Spanish and Reagan cannot understand it. That time Grenadian jumping up with AK in the air, you know. AK vibrating. When you go away, you say we just fight with 2 AK, you know. Even though you never touch AK, but you're feeling proud. We just fight with 2 AK. What happened to us? Maurice Bishop called Dominica Eugenia Charles mother hen. That is so insulting, demeaning, derogative, and hateful statement. And he called Tom Adams yard fowl. And a number of Grenadians passing through Barbados felt the brunt of Maurice Bishop's insult to a nation. Now, what happened to us? We're not running. You still find ministers beating the chest. The Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam, America is the best country in the world. And when I speak, I dare you. So I want you to take me on. The most tolerant country. The most cosmopolitan country. The country in the world where immigrants, if you get through, you are the best chance. You could marry. If you make a child in America, the child is American. If you make a child in China, the child is not a Chinese. I'll know you. No matter what you're saying about America. All the countries in the world are sending people back, including Canada, England. But you condemning America when they did it. We seem to have a love-hate relationship with the United States of America. About a decade or more ago, American writer wrote that Grenadians, there is more hostility for the United States of America in Grenada than any other country in the Caribbean. That happened more than maybe a decade and a half, two ago. The other article right on. A number of us discussed it, and we felt Grenada went through the 1983, 79, 83 period. From that period, we had a lot of left-wing extreme guys. So the left-wing extreme, they say Maurice Bishop is a petty bourgeois. They say Maurice Bishop is a womanizer. He unproductive. So they decided to come up with joint leadership. Because they recognize, even if Maurice Bishop was a petty bourgeois, the people like him. So they're going to use him to face the people. So they talk about joint leadership. And Maurice Bishop agreed. But it is said that when Maurice Bishop go in Cuba, Castro tell him not to bother with that. And the extreme left in Grenada don't like Castro. Well, not don't. Castro dead. They did not like Castro because they say Castro is a one-man cult. One-manism. That is where one-manism come out, you know. They say Castro is one-manism. He not obeying the Central Committee. So they say Bishop heading down that road. But they accuse Bishop of being lazy. You see, Bishop did not have control at the Central Committee. When the vote was taken, Bishop abstained. I think 3 persons vote against. George Louison was one. Bishop abstained. And maybe 9, 10, 11, and 12 support joint leadership. So we supposed to have joint leadership. But Maurice Bishop traveled. America wasn't on his schedule. He go to America to see if he could woo America to support him. And he come back and he afraid to pass Grenada. Since he see who come and meet him on the airport, he know he's trouble. So he did not go over the Grenada because he believed they would have assassinated him over the Grenada. You see, history does repeat itself in Grenada. Ninian Home was in Paraclick. But when he heard Pharaoh come down in Pilot Hill, all he had to do was hit Bylands and shoot over the Grenada. But he fled over the Grenada. because he did not know the Laguinards turn against Fedo. So he go over Belvedere and Fedo meet him and they kill him. Yes, caller, welcome. You lost the caller. So you see, we have to be careful. Today in Grenada, the left is awakened. The left is aroused. Ewart Lane have serious influence on the NDC DC. And Peter David have the movement. So NDC have purged out the old traditional NDC. Ewart Lane seems to be very influential. And the political commotion is with the movement. So the United States of America, the British, they're studying all this movement. And they realize Grenada is in confrontation again. So whereas the Cuban issue may be the excuse, yes, caller, welcome.
Good day, sir.
Yes, caller.
Yeah, you're on a good note there because I had the history of that, but
But you qualify to
want to
interrupt.
From and probably other listeners could also express their views if they know. This guy is Hubert Lane. What is the correct name? Hubert Lane?
Ewart. He was the commander. He was the main man. Ewart.
I want to know what position.
If you do that in jail, you'd never forget it.
What position he's holding in this present administration?
You don't have to have position. You have serious influence. Sometimes the man who have position is a paper doll. You have serious influence. You hear me asking repeatedly, who sent Deacon? Who is the third party that directing our foreign affairs? You hear me ask that? What I'm saying now, Ewart Lane have serious influence in the NDC. In addition to that, the political commotion have aroused the interest of the extreme left in our country.
The reason why I asked that is because I realized his role he was playing under the PRG, and we are not going back to that situation. I realize seems like we're heading for one man ruling. What? Again, which Grenadians don't prepare for that. And I think by now, this present leader is making enough fundamental mistakes. So Grenadians should know where we're headed. And by now we should know he's not capable of managing the affairs of this country. Imagine, look how he handling even the United States thing. In the days of our former Prime Minister, he will make some sort of statement to the nation. Give us some sort of hope that something will work out. But you have a Prime Minister remain quiet and he have only think about going on his own business. This man demonstrate to Grenadians he don't care. What more we should look for? He already show his quality. He show that he is selfish. And Grenadians don't need much more. We don't have nothing to look for again. All we have to do is to prepare for a change of government. I will always advocate to you Grenadians because I know the danger we are heading. This morning I heard a news that Grenada facing a cash flow problem. I was shocked to hear that because I want to know why. the same present administration boast and brag and boast they meet a pregnant treasury. They brag and boast that they have money to run this country. I heard the Minister of Agriculture say, we have money and we're going to show you how to run government. Not no one said so, they themselves said. So, Grenadians, what more you want? What more you want to know? I rest my case, Mr. Day.
Yes, you see, we have to provide information for our people. Remember, people glorify the revolution. And Maurice Bishop was an orator. He speak well. We still quoting Mark Antony. Mark Antony was an orator. Maurice Bishop spoke well. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you today?
Great, man.
Well, I agree with that caller what just called it because that is my thing. Because when we look at it, is the revolution what trying to be inside again? Because remember, Maurice Bishop called Eugenia Giles mother hen. And the same mother hen repeat in Parliament the last time there. The same mother hen repeat in Parliament and other things what was saying are concerning during the revolution time. That is what that is the trend Deacon Mitchell have to trying to bring back in Grenada all Maurice Bishop fact what Maurice Bishop used to do. That is what he's trying to do. He's been like a revolution country again. And he talking about emancipation, Anthony. But he want to have we Grenadian, not me because I'm old already, the young upset. He want to have them under slavery again because up to now, I have to say, some of the young people in Grenada under slavery still under him because they cannot speak. Some of them they cannot speak. If they want to go to any meeting, it's supposed to be an NNP meeting, and if they go, if I'm in NDC meeting, if they show themselves, if they have a little work with the government, and they ever cite them in an NNP meeting, what is the return? Is to send them home. So it's not under slavery. Slavery, they can have some of the young people in Grenada under still. So he shouldn't talk about emancipation. I don't know if you know the meaning of it neither. But I hope we Grenadians, the young people, open the eyes and the ears and listen and see what is going on. I hope they've seen it, what is going on, because some of the young people are under bondage. They want to speak, they can speak. Sometimes they want to go and enjoy themselves somewhere, whether they for the party or not, and they cannot go. So that is what is bondage. They can have the young people on him under. And it's the same revolution thing he have in him.
Well, thank you. Well, I'll put the word heavy manners. I wouldn't use the word bondage or slavery. Heavy manners. Because what the government is doing is systematic. They go after people who are openly attacking them. They go after them, they use intimidation tactics, and they use financial strangulation as a weapon. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, my brother.
Yes. You know, Mr. Pierre, I'm wondering if there is any difference between the movement, the NDC, and the revolution. Because what I realize is happening in this country, the spokesman that the Hamas terrorist leader, he is also the spokesman for the movement. One can hear this individual calling radio practically every day, showing his support for the terrorists. The thing about it is that he's calling on the Christians in this country to pray for the terrorists in Gaza, while at the same time Christians are being prosecuted through the Arab countries. when we look at a country like this country that Saddam Hussein used to rule there.
Syria.
No, Syria.
Iraq.
Syria.
Iraq.
Yeah. Iraq in 2005, Iraq had over 1.5 million Christians. Right now, you could hardly find a Christian in Iraq.
They kill them.
They kill and they drive.
Why did you kill that one?
Right? Saudi Arabia. Right? None of these Arab countries.
You can't go there with a Bible.
Right. Yet still, he's calling on Christians to pray for the terrorists. But what he failed to realize is that God is not mocked. And there is only one God who answers prayer. And that God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. And his name is Jehovah. Yhovah. His name is not Allah. Right? And he should learn from what happened to the politician in this other Arab country when he called on his God. He called on Allah to destroy the Jewish people. And as soon as he finished, he got a heart attack. And he died. So there is only one God who answers prayer. And Christians in this country need to wake up, because their intention is that they finish Israel is the United States. And all of us, they hate Christians. They have no love for Christians because they see us as infidels. They don't even like black people. And he needs to study some history. And don't just call the radio and trying to mislead the Grenadian people. And one of the things I think that he is riding on, he knows that a lot of Christians don't read the Bible. They only listen to the pastors. And people need to wake up in this country. People need to wake up. This individual, he is clearly demonstrating what the foreign policy would be like once the movement comes into power in Grenada. They will be joining the axis of evil, like Iran, Russia, countries and them, because right now he is working hard for his pay. Mr. Pierre, have a good day, sir.
Yes, scholar. You see, I think we have to have a lot of discussion on it. I always say it's a question of information. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Hey, yeah, what's up, man? Hello?
You forgot something? You're live. You're live on the program. All right, you don't want.
Hello?
You're live on target. You're there. Speak, we hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Okay then. You know, I want to hear that every 2 years, people, way of work is supposed to go ahead and change your ID. And you have one time I go and change my ID and meet up.
You're a little bit low.
You work for Homeland Security.
You're a little bit low.
Right? Huh?
You're a little bit low. Speak up first.
Yeah, you work for Homeland Security. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, closer to the mic. You speak, we hearing you low.
Something wrong, I don't get it.
You better just call us back. Sometimes you just have to call and call back. A lot of people say slavery. Yes, come, welcome. Yeah, a lot of people say slavery, but I think at this present time they're trying the policy of heavy manners. So they're trying to put those who dare attack them under heavy manners. So you see Jenny Simon. At first they had drones, and they used the drones to intimidate Jenny, to make her get frightened, to make her get scared, to make her keep herself quiet. That didn't work. So they try other technique. And they use financial strangulation. Because you may not believe, but with almost all the radio stations in Grenada struggle. It's not big money making area. GBN perhaps is the most financially successful in the country. So they use financial strangulation. So government will cut out all the statutory bodies from advertising with you. And the Prime Minister policy so strong, NDC members that have companies, they will cut off the advertising with you. So you call that financial strangulation. So it's difficult. So one of the things we could do is to encourage supporters of the NNP to advertise with radio programs. Yes, caller, welcome. Go right ahead, caller.
Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, punch.
Mr. Pierre, we should be talking about age and who old and who young in the NNP and who this and who that. Mr. Pierre, what age did Dr. Mitchell become Prime Minister? You remember?
Dr. Mitchell entered politics at 26, Gary at 27, Maurice Bishop died at 39. Young fellas.
Right. We have Honorable Pierre. Honorable Pierre is just
50 years.
50 years. We have the 47 years. Right? I admit, yes, the NDC have some young folks in the party that take up ministerial seats and parliamentary seats. But the NNP also is restructuring. We have Christopher Deali Jr., we have Amanda Japal, we have Mayana Charles, we have Mr. Kitaka Modu, we have people in our party that is young right now. So if NNP is not a viable party, why the NNP approaches of sending people to NNP meetings to see who is there, who can in who comes to meetings, in 2025 and they're still doing that?
Caller, I'll just she say they make her go. He said that she make it go long. She said then she realized the man pop is a NDC. She said, I never know he was NDC. Because he used to talk politics. But he rejoicing, he tell her they should make her go long. So that's one of the challenges we have in this country. It is not necessary. Some people says that the NDC have a money problems that they have. I don't agree with that. I don't believe they have money problem. They met a pregnant treasury with over 500 million. They got 118 million as a result of the insurance with burial. You remember they got $100 million from Saudi Arabia.
He also tell me that he said Bonnet Code was supposed to get killed too. But the reason why he didn't get killed, because he talked. So he said, he told me, I said, look out for what is going to happen again. What happened in Grenada is going to happen again. So this is what I'm saying here with this, all this, and the way the country are going. To me, it bailing up, it getting preparation for these things because for what will be happening. Because I feel this party who is in party right now, if they lost the election, they would not give up easily. That's my take.
Yes, scholar. Thank you. If you lose the election, a little bit, they will lose all the seat there together. So the best thing is not halfway, they should lose all. They have performed enough to lose all the seats. And you was our last scholar. And as we have to be concerned. And I always appeal, we have a next last scholar. Come on, you are our last scholar.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to tell me what is the meaning when the Muslim pray and sometimes they say Allah Akbar. What is the meaning of that? Allah Akbar. Thank you.
Yeah. With you. Allah is God, so God be with you. As we pray, Allah Akbar. God is greater, God be with you. Yeah. So why Deacon Mitchell is so vindictive? I would really like our sociologists to have a discussion with our social scientists, because they study humanities and behavioral pattern and behavior. Why Deacon is so vindictive? Why he tells so much lies? When the other members of the party start to relax on prosecuting NNP members, Deacon remind them the only reason NNP getting help is because we don't know who the real NDC is. Because the NDC have a saying that inside NDC full of NNP, and they don't want to help them. When they make their statements at that level, the militants on the ground say let them starve. I want the people in New York and Canada, they might understand it more in England. Imagine you're working for 15 to 20 years. You're a low rank worker. You sweeping, you cleaning, clerical, what other terminologies you lose for your rank? Low rank workers in the body. And you are fired from your job after 20 years. So if you're working for 20 years, you started 18, 20 years, you in your 35, 55 years. The hardest time for you to get a job in a country where they are hostile to you if you're not really yellow. Now tell me, what is the justification? Chester Humphrey had to intervene. Chester Humphrey had to intervene for the women who were fired on the 5th of July 2022. NDC came into office on the 23rd of July, and on the 23rd of June, and by the 5th of July, they were sending out letters firing people because they claim these workers are green. Workers that worked 15, 20 years. We chastise the government. We chastise the Public Workers Union for not fighting diligently for these workers. Chester Humphrey had to intervene for some measure of redress. They didn't get back their job, They paid them for it. No! The government threw out some again. You heard us cry out relentlessly. And that is for the New York and Canada and those on Facebook that say we lie and they didn't hear. We cry out for the 31 workers in Grenada Estate. They visited the workers. They applaud them. They tell them the estate could identify for planting weed. And then they fire 31 workers. I think they left 4. Now they bring back 20. And we said publicly 19 of those workers was NDC. Now what could drive a group of politicians to preach so much hate? What? When we complain that the Public Workers Union was not doing enough, imagine the Public Workers Union remove Francis Pierre from the medical health plan. What is going on wrong in our country? Why this retributive justice? Why this vengeance? It is done with a purpose. The bishop heavy manners to make you shut your mouth. You see a lot of Grenadians can talk. They're afraid they don't give their children a scholarship. Some of them cannot talk because they're afraid their children would not get a scholarship. They won't get a teaching job. They won't get a job in the public service. And even if they're working, they will not get a chance to travel or further their education. The Public Service Commission has been contaminated. When these things happen in your country, don't surprise when you have more violence. Because sometimes violence is the only thing that speaks. Most of the people are silent now. They're afraid to open their mouth because they're afraid their children might not get a scholarship. And we always want to thank you for participating in the program with us. Those who call, those who listen, everybody can call. And particularly if you're afraid for your job, don't call, because you could identify your voice. But you could share and like our program. And we're back with you again tomorrow between 12 and 1, and you have another opportunity on Target.
Politics to fade the latest trend.